It's not been the best 12 months for Holly Willoughby. Known for over a decade as the queen of daytime TV, her crown has been knocked ever so slightly in just 1 year after a series of unfortunate events. Most recently, the 42-year-old was placed under police guard after an alleged plot to kidnap her was uncovered by cops. The latest news reportedly left Holly, 42, distraught as she was watched by around-the-clock police guard at her home. As a result, this morning were forced to draft in Josie Gibson and Alison Hammond as last-minute replacements on Thursday to host the ITV show, though at the time did not explain why Holly was missing. It later emerged that police alerted bosses at the program of the alleged plot early Thursday morning, and Holly was informed shortly before she was due on air at 10 a.m. Holly's alleged kidnap plot is, unbelievably, not the first dramatic event to happen to the TV star over the last year, which has proven to be truly hellish. From losing her co-star and best friend of 17 years over an affair scandal to dreaded Queuegate and being snubbed in NTA for the first time in years, it's been tough. Queuegate was the first sign of rocky waters between Holly and Phil. The pair found themselves at the center of a social media storm last year after being accused of jumping the queue to visit the Queen lying in state. This morning and the presenters later issued a statement clarifying the issue, but public anger continued to rise, with over 75,000 signing a petition to axe Holly and Phil from the ITV show. At the time, a source told OK! that the atmosphere in the studio was awful and the Queuegate drama has made Holly and Phil's relationship extremely awkward. "You could cut the tension in the room with a knife," the insider had said. The fact that the audience are now noticing it too indicates that big cracks are starting to show. Holly was said to have been hit hard by the public's reaction to Queuegate and couldn't bear to look at social media. A source said to be close to the mum of three had claimed to Heat magazine, "Holly's had one of the worst weeks ever. There's so much hatred directed at her right now and she can't even bring herself to look at social media to see what people are saying. Holly's used to having this perfect reputation. She's been hit really hard by all this hostility and anger. This morning was even hit by a string of Ofcom complaints in the wake of the scandal, prompting ITV's boss Dame Caroline McCall to jump to their defense, saying it's hard. You imagine yourself in the eye of the storm like this, where you're trying to say you've done nothing wrong and all the noise around you is saying that you have. It's difficult to handle." She has also insisted the pair's jobs are safe on the ITV show, despite calls for them to be sacked. Phil later recalled how he and Holly banded together in the face of the scandal months before their friendship fell apart for good. He said, "So we are forever now, associated. It doesn't matter now because I'm not going to go out anymore, but forever now, you go to the butcher's and someone says, 'Oh, do you want to skip ahead?' No, I'll stand here. I'm serious. I don't ever throw anyone under the bus, but I have a very good instinct for these things and I knew it was a bad thing to do." "We were texting each other backwards and forwards afterwards. I said to Holly, I knew I should have gone with my gut, and she said, I know. But we were shell-shocked, the both of us, completely shell-shocked by the reaction." What are the two things you don't screw up? The Queen and a Q. Philip Schofield's scandal. Rumors of a feud between Holly and Phil behind the scenes of This Morning rumbled on for a week before the 61-year-old presenter sensationally quit back in May. His exit had initially been explained as him not wanting to overshadow the show with backstage drama and Rose and had wanted to save the reputation of the ITV program. However, just days later he sensationally cut ties with ITV altogether and was dumped by his management team when he finally admitted to having an unwise but not illegal affair with a younger male colleague behind the scenes of the award-winning show. Co-star Holly Willoughby severed ties with her former best friend, sharing her hurt over the deception, while ITV said that they were deeply disappointed by his deceit. One by one, Philip's former co-stars popped out of the woodwork to slam the host, with Eamon Holmes accusing ITV of a total cover-up. Phil went on to break his silence in a series of shocking and explosive bombshells in interviews with the BBC and The Sun, which saw him declare he was not a groomer and explain why he put a stop to the affair. Phil also spoke of his final text to Holly, saying, "The last time we had a conversation was when I texted Holly and said, 'Don't reply'. This was after the statement last week. Don't reply. You're probably not allowed to, but I am deeply sorry that I lied to you. And I am. It was the one secret in our sanctuary that was never mentioned." Following her extended break, Holly made her much-anticipated return to This Morning, with Josie Gibson at her side instead of Phil. Her introduction to viewers saw her make her now infamous "Are you okay?" speech, which sparked raised eyebrows from many. She appeared nervous as she gripped co-host Josie's hand and spoke to viewers, asking them to take a deep breath and questioning whether they were okay. Yet viewers were skeptical about her choice of words, and Holly was brutally accused of throwing her former best friend under the bus. One viewer tweeted, "That speech was underwhelming. Holly kind of confirmed there is no love lost between her and Phil, she seems still mad at him." But from her side, she did not say how much she knew. She could have denied having any knowledge. Her statement was very economical. #This Morning. Not Holly throwing Phil under the bus ha 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 #This Morning, while another wrote, "That was one of the most insincere things I have ever witnessed in my life #This Morning." Someone else shared, at ITV at This Morning at Holly Wills, showing they are still incredibly out of touch. This speech was self-serving and doesn't address the big question. Some This Morning viewers even pointed out the statement had similarities with a speech given by Jennifer Aniston's character Alex Levy in the opening episode of the hit Apple TV Plus series The Morning Show. Despite Phil's departure, This Morning found itself under intense scrutiny over allegations the program was fostering a bullying culture, which had been described as toxic. ITV chief executive Dame Caroline McCall faced questions from MPs in August about the situation and asked the parliamentary committee to encourage individuals to contact ITV via our reporting line Safe Call, through which reports can be made confidentially or anonymously. She also said staff members can contact Jane Mulcahy KC, who was leading an external review of the facts after Schofield's exit. Prior to the investigation, a source told The Mirror, "The next few weeks will be a desperate bid to save the show, and the jobs of the execs. Fingers are being pointed at the top brass, even though he admitted he lied to all of them. The show's wholesome image is clearly tarnished, but bullish ITV execs are not going to just throw the baby out with the bathwater. They are determined to prove that the brand is stronger than any single presenter, and that they can give it a fresh start after Schofield." In September, it was revealed that Holly has big plans for a hosting shake-up, after fears she could be axed after being caught in the Phil scandal crossfire. a source told Heat magazine. As well as spending a lot of time planning the refreshed show this summer, Holly has been in contact with a new lineup of co-hosts. She wants the show to move away from the spotlight on one presenter, to a more diverse array of talent. Going forward, she envisions the team taking a more flexible approach, as there are plenty of opportunities for getting involved. NTA's snub. The final blow of the year came from the usually reliable National Television Awards, which in the past famously saw a hungover Holly and Phil decked out in their glam outfits as they hosted the show slumped on the sofa. This year, however, it was a very different affair as Phil was missing and Holly failed to garner a presenter nomination. This Morning ended up losing out on its NTA for Best Daytime Show, breaking their 13-year award-winning streak. Instead it was The Repair Shop who took home the daytime win, which some eagle-eyed fans claimed resulted in Holly looking teary-eyed. Holly later shared a sweet message to The Repair Shop's Jay Blades after losing out to the award, before tucking into a burger on her way home from London's O2 Arena. Along with a black and white selfie with the Repair Shop host, she wrote, "To this gorgeous man at Jay Blades Bay and the whole team at the Repair Shop, hugest congratulations. And what a night for the incredible Sarah Lancashire. At Joel Dommett, thank you for a great night. See you in the morning." Fellow presenter Dermot O'Leary posted a heart emoji while Alison Hammond added heart eye emojis to the post. In the snap, both showed off their pearly whites as they posed for the photo. Moments later, Holly returned to her Instagram page to share a snap of herself chowing down on a McDonald's quarter-pounder with cheese. Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.